Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. Always giving honor to the creative force of the universe. This is what we need to do. This is how we need to do, and this is why we need to do. Regardless of land, label, or language, there is but one creative force. Whether you call her divine masculine or divine feminine or him, he, she, it, alien, that is totally up to you what you're going to do. All right, so I hope everybody is doing well this fine evening. And like I promised, I would have a special guest coming up at 8 o'clock for the first time on my show, on my platform. She's making her debut on my platform, and her name is Brigid. Brigid Turner. Her name is Brigid Turner. She is making a debut on my channel. She is a entrepreneur. She's a director, writer, producer, and overall great person. So she'll be coming up in the top of the hour at 8 o'clock. It is now 53 minutes after the hour, and want to remind everybody that we have a few other interviews coming up after this on. But just want to remind everybody this coming Saturday we have one of our living legends, the one, the only Professor James Smalls, will be in the building at Nicholas, Brooklyn. That's 1396 Fulton Street. $35 before the day of, $40 at the door, but you could take a snapshot of this particular flyer and show it at the door, and you will get $5 off the door price if you can take a snapshot. Other than that, you can go to Linktr.ee/King Simon the Numerovator to get the tickets through Eventbrite. And that's happening with our great elder, the one, the only Baba James Smalls. On Monday, I will be interviewed by Empress Etoy and El Hajj Saladin, Understanding Thyself, of course. Don't Think Too Hard podcast. December 15th at 8 p.m. I'll be on that channel. And then on December 16th, I'm going to be bringing in Ascending Infinite Goddess. Her first debut on my channel will be here on my channel for the first time. So enough respect to her. So we're going to have a great time. And then on the December 18th, I have a dear brother and professor coming in live and direct. We're going to have the one, the only Professor James Muhammad Mahdi. He will be in the building live and direct. So make sure y'all come on out and enjoy what we have to offer. And I'm proud of his journey. I'm proud of my journey. I'm proud of all of our journeys in whatever capacity that we've dealt with the martial arts. And enough respect to all of those people that have practiced and trained. But this particular interview will be about healing a certain particular system. That's what it's about, healing a particular system. But it's also encouraging all martial arts and all martial arts students and people that are practitioners of these different systems and styles to heal within your own system. That is very important. I know that's very important to me, and that's very important to this individual that I'm going to be bringing on the 18th. So I'm proud to have him for the first time. He's making his debut on my channel also. And do remember, on the 20th, we will be with Ascending Infinite Goddess on this online webinar, Saturday, December the 20th from 12 to 4:30 p.m. That's where we're going to be at. And then more than likely, I'm going to try to head over to the red carpet special that's going to be held by our sister. And then on the 21st, if you're in Brooklyn, New York, we will be at Long Island University, live and direct at Long Island University. That should be fun. Long Island University is going to be good. Big up to Sister Kafunya Ife and everybody that's coming on Instagram. Big up to you. But we will be at Long Island University with Brother Shabazz and the whole Eye Opener production family. Myself and Paris Williams will be opening up for Queen of Four. Tickets are $25 in advance, $30 at the door, but you can get your early bird tickets through Eventbrite at Woman, Man, Heal Thyself, Queen of Four.eventbrite.com. And if you want to vend, you could always call or text this number at 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. 3 minutes before we bring on our guest, 3 minutes before we bring on our special guest, making her debut on the channel for the first time, I do have to shout out some sponsors, of course. Big up to my son, Prince Imagine, greenstudionyc.com. Make sure you get all your podcasts and recording, artist development, all of that over there. Also, OTRFT, Only the Realists Feel This podcast featuring Abundance Child at youtube.com/Abundance Child from out of Delaware. D-Ware, stand up. Make sure you get my books also. Get my books on Amazon. All my books are available at Amazon at King Simon at Amazon. And believe me, you will learn. And you could take it and do what you got to do with the information. Just keep it positive. Also, big up to Professor Zahalia, 30 years in the martial arts and also a dance instructor, online, offline classes. Her and her cubs are doing their great work out there in Long Beach, LA, but she also does online classes also, dance and martial arts. If you need to learn, just make sure you pair up with somebody so she can train y'all both at the same time. Also, big up to Dr. Shakira Moore, Holistica Palace. And also enough respect to New Diamonds. New Diamonds, she usually come on and co-host with me every now and then, so enough respect to her and how they do things and how we do things with that beautiful sister. Very good person. All right, so I'm happy to have these people. And of course, big up to Nicholas Brooklyn, Nicholas Culturals. If you want wholesale or you want 10% off all retail prices, make sure you go to either Nicholas Brooklyn or Nicholas Culturals. I've known them since 1985, worked with her father, and now she's doing what she got to do. If you want wholesale, make sure you call 718-858-4400. All right. And last but definitely not least, the one, the only Lloyd Strayhorn, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com, 800-581-4400. And always got to have my disclaimer going. Views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Okay. All right. In the next minute, we'll be bringing on our special guest. I hope she has good lighting wherever she is. I hope she has her lights and things ready. And if not, we're going to have to keep it moving. But I do have to make sure things are right and exact. So turn on all the lights and make sure we're going on. So the person that I am about to bring on right here on King Simon Presents Only Quality People. And I do want to remind each and every one of you to like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. Scrolling right there at the bottom. Please like, subscribe, and share, and click on the notification bell. I'm always working on building algorithm. And also you can donate to the channel, of course, through Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, and Chime. All right, because Chime will keep you on time. And of course, Cash App will keep you intact. And Venmo will let you know. And PayPal is always a good pal to me. All right, just letting y'all know this is what we do. All right, so without further ado, it is now 8 o'clock, and this beautiful sister that I'm about to bring on, I remember she was at Monique's birthday party, and I said, the way she was setting up stuff, I said, you'll make a good wife. She said, no, I would make a great wife. I said, oh, okay, let me find out. I said, okay, I said, all right, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, from good to great. That's what I'm talking about. But let me read something real quick about our sister. She's a director, writer, and producer. She's also the founder of Brown Girl Empowerment. Brown Girl Empowerment is a nonprofit organization that ignites the potential within Black and Brown girls, building their confidence, leadership, and voices through enriching mentorship, dynamics, public speaking opportunities, and holistic wellness program. It dismantles barriers and inspire lifelong success in their academic and personal journeys. Without any further ado, let me welcome on my stage right here on King Simon Presents Only Quality People, the one, the only, and the one, the only herself, Miss Brigid Turner in the building as we get these applause going right now. Hey, my sister.
Greetings, how are you?
Greetings, sister. Oh, man, you out in the dark. There you are. Wow.
Yes, I was like, I had to literally pull over to some place that had like floodlights in a
Okay.
parking lot. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. You can see me a little bit. Okay, good.
Okay.
Good.
You don't got no lights in your car?
Well, you know what's so funny? My vehicle is a soft top. Um,
Oh, okay.
so I've never ever had the lights on in here. Like never. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see what happens.
Right,
Now
right,
you
right.
got me like okay.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You never
Did
had
that
the
do something? That did something?
no, not really.
Wait, look, look.
That's it. Go ahead. Turn it up. Just, I mean, just a little bit. Just a little bit. But you're gonna have
Wait,
to, you're gonna have to push your face forward into the phone for to get the.
I know that's just gonna be like my whole head.
Yeah, there it is. That's good. Because it's disappearing from the top. So we want to make sure we all right. How you doing?
I'm grateful, and I apologize. So why I'm in this vehicle is because one of the families that we were feeding for the give back run,
Right.
today was my day to drop off her groceries,
Oh, okay.
and I was trying to coordinate it after I taught a dance class, and then I was like, I'm gonna be in her car talking to Simon because I had to get it to her today. So I had literally bought the groceries, took the class, and then dropped it off to her. So that was part of what we did for the giving of thanks time in the holiday times. We
Mhm.
do a run, which is, can you hear me well?
Yes, of course. Mhm.
Okay, this was what we did. Was we compiled runners to run 50 miles, and we raised money to be able to feed families for the holidays. So this was one of the families, and then also to buy some items to send to Jamaica. So that I'm
Mhm.
dropping off at Nicholas. Actually, not Nicholas. Monique Water Chandler. Chandler.
Chandler.
They have a drop off,
Yes. Right.
and so I'll be dropping that off tomorrow, like the garbage bags, the gloves, the safety kits, the first aid kits, stuff like that. So I got that together. So I'm so grateful for all those who ran that. And it was cold. And, I'm just so grateful. Every year there's a few different runners. Matt, I think he's the only one that has done it before,
Mhm.
and but everyone else is so nice, and I know that everyone is doing things during that time. But I feel like when I do this, I started it 5 years ago,
Mhm.
and I feel like doing hard things to help people, it just adds more to it. I don't know if that's just a thing for me or what, but it just adds more to it. So I'm grateful for that. And they get whatever they want. So if they say, I want Sara Lee pound cake, they get Sara Lee pound cake. So whatever items that they have. And then I also put sparkling cider, candle, flowers, and a card with everyone who donated. I'll be posting that soon. But I never share who we
Right.
are giving.
Mhm. Of course, anonymously. Of course, I
Yes.
understand. I understand. Family, I want people to know you can donate to Bridget's quest and her thing through Cash App. Her Cash App is right here on the screen, and her Zelle is also on the screen, which is also an email. And also in the chat is also the link to the red carpet event too. Let me make sure that's up in there. There it is. The red carpet event also that's happening on December the 20th. And we're going to talk about that momentarily, and also a link to her website is both up on the link, and I put it in the chat so y'all can support all that she's doing in every way you can. and because she's doing things on a grander level. And I'm proud of the sister. I, really recently just got to meet the sister, and she's a Pisces spirit, so I got a lot of Pisces in my chart, so I understand. I got a lot of Pisces in my chart, so and sometimes me and Pisces get along very well at certain times, uh, and I was telling her, I think I told you that one of the greatest love songs was done by an Aquarius and a Pisces, Rick James and Tina Marie.
Okay.
Fire and Desire. They wrote that song and they tore that place up. So
Okay.
so how you feeling? And first of all, why the organization Brown Girl Empowerment? Of course, I read the empowerment and the mission statement right here. Why did you name it Brown Girl Empowerment? Let's get with that nonprofit organization first. Go ahead.
It started off years ago. I had wrote a short film called For a Dark Skinned Girl, and that was a thing. That was a thing. Like, people would say, "Oh, you're so pretty for a dark skinned girl,"
Oh yeah,
and I just was like, "Yeah, you heard that terminology." And so while teaching, I was like, well, everyone's not dark skinned, but they would still associate a black girl or a brown girl. Oh, you're just angry because you're black, or this and that. And so I didn't want to call it like Black Girl Empowerment. I don't know. It just didn't come to me. Brown Girl Empowerment came to me like nothing. And I said, part of that was in school, I teach dance and I teach filmmaking, and then some, not high tech theater, but we do bits of theater performances because we do on the stage, we perform. And I remember really working with a kindergarten class, and a young girl, she said she didn't feel pretty because she said, I don't feel pretty. And I asked her why. And she said, well, I don't have a beautiful dress on today. And everyone else is dressed up for pictures. I said, but you look beautiful. And then she was like, and my hair, she just kept going, complaining. And I was like, even at kindergarten level, this is a thing, And so I tried to console her, and I was like, what is this? What is that? And it happened again, and it happened again. And then I said, you know what? I need to figure out a way of empowering young girls. And so then when I would work in another school that wasn't predominantly Black or Latino, girls were saying the same thing about how their parents didn't think that they were beautiful. And this was a more Indian looking girl because she was too dark. Yeah. She was too dark. Yes. And I was like, wow, this is not just happening for Black girls.
Acting it's for black boys too. I went through it.
Yeah. 100%. 100. You'll be able to, I'm gonna let you share your story too, but you see what I'm saying? And I know that there's men that's championing for the Black boys, but I'm a female, and you can be inspired both ways, right? From a man and from a female. But I was like, because I was in the school, I was like, there's gotta be a way to empower these young girls to feel like it's not about their hair, it's not about their skin, it's not about what they're wearing. And so I just created that, and I would pitch it to the schools for free. I would do it for free, because it meant more to me to have them feel good about themselves, because you perform better when you feel good about yourself, and then it started with, okay, well, what hair products are you using? Because maybe you're thinking your hair is not looking nice because you need some kind of product, but now with the product, I was researching like, well, what's the better products to use? Not just slap some stuff on you. And then it became, okay, nutrition. If your skin is not up to par, maybe it's certain things that you're eating. So I would really enforce, like, stop eating the junk food every day, stop having the soda, the Takis, the this, that. And so it became where the principal would say, you know what, maybe we can make a lunch club from this. And then it went to something else, and an after school program. And then finally this year it became a nonprofit. And all of the things that we do, we push into schools, and this is women that partner with me to do that. I don't do everything myself. When I'm in the schools, yes, but like when we do our Brown Girl Empowerment event in the summer, which we've had our 5th year, we do it in the park, and we we partner it with younger girls and older girls and women, because at the end of the day, grown women still need to be empowered too.
And now, and I'm glad you said that, because we know that the women are the nurturers of family in general. And I know you're focusing on black girls, but do sometimes the boys feel left out if you go into certain schools with this? And if we don't help to balance it off, what do we expect if there's not a group of men that's doing that for boys? It's still always upon the divine feminine to help balance that off until they're ready to go to that man to get whatever manhood stuff they have, especially from an early point of their life in the early ages. That's why they usually stay with the woman until a certain age, and then come to the boys, or go to the men after that, and then women, the little girls. That's why there was a lot of problems back in the 70s, where little boys wasn't taught to nurture. They was taught to play with guns and toys and all that type of stuff. But little girls were given dolls and showing dollhouse, and not little boys.
And how to cook.
Exactly, how to cook and know how to balance it out. So I think in this day and time, as we're getting older, that probably you have to team up with somebody that can help filter that in and balance that off to make it happen. Because if you're raising healed girls and then all a bunch of unhealed boys, that's going to be a problem when it comes to relationship later on.
Well, fortunately, the schools that I've been at, they've actually had
Okay, good.
male groups. They've had My Brother's Keeper, and they've had this.
I remember
two
My Brother's
other.
Keeper. I remember my.
Yeah, so that is a thing,
Good.
and they do Man Something. I forgot, Man Up. There's another one
Man
that
Up, yeah, I heard of Man Up.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a few that's in there.
It's so far and few in between when it comes to that. Women are doing more healing work than men nowadays, to tell you the truth. I guess.
Well, you know what? I think it depends on what circle you're running with, because
Right.
that's just like, if you're not in a school, that's like people who have children, they know all the cartoons and all that. You're like, what are you singing? And you'd be like, oh, that's my world right now because I have a child, and they're at that age. So in the schools that I've been at, most of them have had the man component or the boy component.
Good.
And I coach volleyball at a middle school, and
Good.
Part of that, whatever I'm doing, I'm making sure that that's pushed in there, even if there's not a moment of, oh, well, it's just volleyball. Well, we have moments where we bond and we talk about that, and we talk about families, because I don't necessarily focus on, oh, how we should be with boys. I focus on how they should empower themselves, because when they are empowered, they'll know how to maneuver with the boys. Because I definitely feel like, and it will show the boys too, like, okay, well, she's not going for that. I got to come correct if I want to try to, be around her. So I feel like that is the part of the balancing that I do, because I don't want to put any stigmas on the boys. I don't want to label them, but I know as I empower these young girls, they will make better decisions, and those better decisions they can transfer over while having communication with the boys.
Right. And that makes a lot of sense. Thank you very much for your service. Thank you for becoming a member, whoever you are. That's EGBW1CE. Thank you very much for becoming a member of my channel. Because I've had cousins that has gone through the light skin, dark skin stuff, and it did affect them. Because in Jamaica, where your family come from, my family come from, and here in America, sometimes there's classism and certain things against each other, that these things happen. And where the melanated darker ones might not feel empowered, or the one might feel, the lighter one might be feeling privileged in some way and all that. They got their privilege, and because they lighter. And then you have some people that will attack the light skinned one. You know what I'm saying? And again, this back and forth, and it all comes from the quote unquote mystery letter called the Willie Lynch letter. We all know it's a Willie Lynch thing, dark against the light, light against the dark, old against the young, young against the old. It's all been, and it's still happening today. It's still happening today. I'm glad that people like yourself is doing your portion of the puzzle, your portion of the work. And that's very important. Go ahead.
One of the things too, because that was my story growing up in elementary school. My sister, my mom is fairer. Anyone who knows me and we post pictures, you can tell that I'm her daughter, but I looked more like my father, who was darker. He passed away a long time ago, but like, They used to say the dark skinned girl, Turner's girl, or the light skinned Turner. Like, we didn't have names. We didn't have names. It was like the darker sister or the this sister. They didn't even talk about our hair, who was smarter, who was this. It was always about our complexion. So for me, I know what it is.
Yeah,
I
me
know what
too.
it was like
Me
to
too.
be teased about my hair, teased about my skin, even teased about how I spoke.
That's
You
it.
know,
Yeah.
I was definitely teased, and it was like, oh, Brillo pad girl, the skin complexion, but yet, oh, you sound like a white girl. And I'm
Mhm.
like, what is that? What does that even mean? You know, so it's like you couldn't win on either one. So
Yeah.
you're bettering your education so you can fit in this world, but then someone else is like, oh, well, you sound like a white girl. And I'm like, what does that even mean?
I
Because
mean,
I spoke proper, I didn't curse and all that stuff.
that's funny because on both sides of my family, there's always that particular auntie or uncle that says something a little crazy. And my aunt, one of my aunts on my mother's side of the family, she used to say, "How come him come out so dark?" And then another one on my father's side of the family said, "We have a little black boy there." I mean, and that's the
And it's a
mentality.
cultural thing. It's a cultural thing. It's learned behavior.
That
You know,
behavior.
it's
Yeah.
it's it's learned behavior. So for me, that's why I'm so passionate.
Yes.
I've never had a relaxer. You know what I'm saying? I've
Yeah.
never wanted to bleach my skin, and
Yeah.
I don't have any tattoos because I just felt like, wow, if people were paying attention to me so much like that, I need to stay as pure as possible. And
Right.
no shade on anyone who has their hair relaxed or
Mhm.
bleach their skin. For me, it was a personal thing for me. Like, mm, I really love who I am. I don't want to do that to myself. I don't. I just said I did not. And so it's almost unbelievable. Like when people say, oh, you've never relaxed your hair. And I was like, no, I never had that feeling to even want to do it. And
Right.
I thank God for that, to be honest. I thank God all the time, especially when I was younger. And people would say, well, what is that? What is that? I said, whatever it is, I'm glad I have that because I'm very proud of my culture. I'm very proud of my skin. I'm proud of where I was brought up. And my mom, thank God that the amount of jobs that she worked to provide for us, I grew up on my own. So also with that, I let the children know you don't have to, like, having a two-parent household is amazing. Even having a one-parent household is amazing. I had a no-parent household because my mother worked so many jobs. You know,
Mhm.
so it was like, well, what's an excuse then? And there's no excuse.
Right. 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 I understand. I understand. Family, if you see her in the dark, she's in her car. She couldn't make it to her regular computer and her laptop to do what she had to do because she was there helping people, assisting other people to get some food and stuff. And she does a lot of work with her Brown Girl Empowerment. Of course, you're looking at the website right now. I have it right here in front of you. Before we get into her red carpet thing that's happening on the 20th, of course, that's her beautiful picture right there in front there. Um, very, very beautiful sister. Just want to let you know that. And she's been doing things in the film because, and I'm glad that you're into films and all of that because I grew up. My uncle and aunt were the writers for Pantomime back in the '70s. Pantomime
Mm.
was those films in Jamaica that they had back in the day. And so I'm destined to write a play. I have two plays already, one man play and one woman play already in my head. So I might have to talk to you about directing them because I really want to do, and I know it's going to make big. I was going to make a big wave in this once I do what I have to do because I have it in my head and I wrote it down on paper how the one man or one woman play going to be. But what got you into writing films and directing? Let's go there now. What really got you into that, please?
Mm, that all started from modeling and dancing, and
Ah,
I was given an opportunity from one of my modeling agencies to be in American Gangster and Spider-Man 3 as one of the featured models, and that did it for me. It actually, let me backtrack
right.
because it was an independent film. I was on the train, like the platform of the train station, and his name was John. John, I don't know why I can't remember his last name, but John, they were working on this independent film. And he was like, oh, you could be one of the models. And I was like, whatever. And so then I wind up following up just to see if it was real or not. I was
Right.
still with my modeling agency, but they gave me a chance. And it was called Coda. Coda. don't remember the director at all. That's a shame, but because I thought of it as a modeling job, and then from there,
Right. When was it?
the agency.
What's the name of the agency you was on? The name of that agency, the modeling agency. You remember? Because I used to work in the field there and had dealt with modeling agencies and stuff back in the day. So.
Mm,
It wasn't Ford or none of that. It was Ford. It wasn't
no,
Ford.
no, no. It wasn't a big budget one. It
Oh,
was. Let me tell you, when you're not like, because that wasn't my lane to be in there. Like I model commercial modeling, hair modeling, runway modeling, so I
okay.
make the money like that.
Right.
But it wasn't one of those big agencies, and if it was, like I feel I'd have been a small fish in that big pond, So I went to a smaller agency, and it was pretty good. And they wind up booking me. I don't know why I feel like,
They worked for you, didn't they? They did the work. The small agencies do work. They
yeah,
do.
the
They put
small
in that work.
agency,
Yeah.
yeah,
They
they
put in
did, and I was non-exclusive, so I could do whatever I wanted to do.
exactly.
That was a main goal of mine, to be non-exclusive. And I'll remember it in a little bit. I want to feel like it was central casting, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. I gotta go back in my head.
Okay. Okay.
And so I booked that job, and it was 5 days on Spider-Man 3, and I think 3 days on American Gangster, 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
And I made so much money during that time. Those two jobs I got my union card.
Mm.
And so, which became a SAG union
SAG, yes.
actor.
I've had SAG
Yes.
in action myself. Yes, I've had SAG.
Right.
Yes.
So after came about differently, because I did a dance show. I mean, a dance on a TV show, but I didn't have enough credits. But then when they merged, I got grandfathered into having the SAG after. But I still
Mm.
had enough money to just pay it out because I did those two jobs. And I'll never forget on American Gangster, I remember them having jackets.
Yeah.
And I said, that is so cool. Like everyone got jackets, all the crew. And I said, if I ever make a movie, I'm going to have jackets. And that's why my first movie called Run Crew, which is on Amazon Prime now, I
Right.
got jackets for all the crew. Like we got jackets, hoodies. I had mad paraphernalia. And that to me, it was inspiring. It was mad long hours on those sets.
Okay.
Like
Oh yeah, I
it
know.
ain't pretty.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to work for Spike. So Spike,
Oh,
I
okay.
was doing security for Spike. So we used to have to be on set by 5 something in the morning because we were securing the whole thing. And I was big up to Brother Wayne, my chief security officer at that time, and Anthony. And we was there part of the Nation of Islam doing that security at that point for Spike for the Malcolm X movie. We did clockers, and so I know how early. And even Spike had us in the movie one time, just showing us, walking through with Harvey Keitel and all of them. So I remember and meeting Mekhi Phifer for the first time. That was very good, and we was training.
Mm-hmm.
We was teaching him martial arts on the set. We was teaching him how to fight on the set. So big up to Mekhi Phifer.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And being in film and modeling and all of that, and taking that road at one point of your life, how did the other participants in this business treated? How did they treat you back in those days? When they, because I know it wasn't an easy. It's not an easy. I tell people these different industries are not always easy, and you have to be able to put things in order and put things in certain perspective to deal with them. Go ahead, please.
I know that because I did background work, and then I wind up doing featured background work and standing in.
Mm.
And I'm gonna shout him out. But I remember meeting Mario Van Peebles,
Yeah, I worked for
and
Mario too. I worked for Mario and his father actually. So
oh wow, yeah, I got to meet his father before, like three times,
yes, 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 yes,
before he
yes.
passed. But I just remember,
Wow.
I think it was the episode. It was a couple of times. And I remember ask, all right, you ask and you might get. And I remember asking, could I shadow him one day?
And he did.
And
He did. He's a
he
good
allowed
dude,
me.
man. He's a good dude. Ain't he a good dude?
Yeah, he allowed me to shadow him.
Wow.
But I'll backtrack. When I was doing background, and I'll always tell this story because, and again, whatever I'm saying is my experience.
Your experience, exactly. Yes.
My experience, and it has nothing to do with anyone else, how they function. This is me. And why I say that is because I remember I was on a set of a show. I'm not going to say what that one is, but I remember I had my hair out, lip gloss, nothing crazy. I don't wear foundation. I only wear foundation if I'm like doing pictures or something like
Right,
that,
right.
but I don't wear foundation. And I remember doing the part, walking past the lead, and they were like, start again. They did it, start again. And then the AD came over and it was like, we got to pull your hair back. And so I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's just too big or whatever.
Right,
You
right.
know, I was like, okay, they pulled it back. And then they did it again. And they was like, you're a distraction. And I was like, what does that mean? And he was like, we're paying attention to you on the camera more than the lead.
Yeah, of
And
course.
it was a Caucasian woman,
You bring it
you
all
know?
to it. Everybody come, and according to psychological studies, black people does bring that energy on film. And so it's go ahead. I'm sorry to break your wisdom. Go
And
ahead.
so, no, it's fine. And so it clicked for me. I'm not
Mm,
supposed to be background. That's what I said.
mm,
I said it
mm.
clicked it automatically. I said I'm not doing background work no more. I said I'm not doing no more background work unless it was on a commercial or featured, something featured, but not no regular background passing. I was like, no, no. You
Right.
can tell me one time. You can tell me one time. And I also remember there was one point where I did background work before this incident. That incident solidified it for me. But before that, there was a time that they had asked us to walk in the rain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, y'all gonna provide umbrellas? I don't walk in the rain without an umbrella in my normal world. And I'm like, if you see the rain on camera, why can't we hold an umbrella? And it was a big thing. Nobody else said anything. And I said, I'm not walking outside without an umbrella. Like, I'm gonna get wet, like wet.
Right.
And they had to call the union and they said, provide them with umbrellas.
Wow.
And I was like,
That's,
people are just not standing up for themselves. That's background.
especially
Like,
when you got SAG and AFTRA, you can stand up and
I was
call.
like, I'm a union actor, and yet sometimes there's no chairs. And I'm
Yep.
not saying this was a little while back, but I'm just saying, I don't know if it still happens now because I stopped doing that a long time ago. But I was like, I felt like, and I think this was when they was calling it extras, not even background. And I was like, well, what do you mean by extra? Don't you need us in the set? Extra means you could do without. That's
Yeah.
how I felt. Extras you could do without. I said, nobody, that's like me in this car talking to you is kind of boring. You might need someone to knock at the window to
Right.
change it
Change
up, you know?
it
So
up.
that
Yeah.
is not extra. That's what's needed, you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
And I appreciate the actors who are A-list, B-list, C-list, D-list, whatever at Letter that communicate and like will say, thank you for being here. Because I've been on set where these actors, well-known names, they will say, thank you for being here. You know what you working on? They'll just interact because they make it seem like you can't talk to none of those actors.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
They made it seem, and that wasn't the truth. You're right. It wasn't true.
yeah,
And
yeah.
moving forward with the same thing. I like where we at, and then before in the next half an hour, we're gonna go where we got to go with your screening coming up. But you know, I've worked with I've worked with I've worked with Hazel Goodman, another beautiful dark skin actor, Hazel, and I've worked with Phyllis Yvonne Stickney, another friend of mine. These are people that we talk and speak and all that. And they, as beautiful, melanated, darker skinned women, used to go through a lot. And, of course, they try to encourage the sleeping with and doing all that kind of stuff. Was there any time in this industry that they tried to prompt you or try to make any type of thing towards you to have to go on the casting couch or sleep with them? Did they ever try to do that to you in this business?
I don't really give off that like you could even try that,
Right. Just
to
want to
be
make sure.
honest.
Yeah, that's right.
But I will tell you, I do remember, and I'm not going to even say this brother's name because everybody knows this man's name.
I'm
And I
sure.
remember we were filming in Jersey, and it was a bunch of us.
Right.
And it was a 2-day shoot. So we went back to New York, and then we were supposed to come back, but they offered, oh, we're having a party there. And I remember saying, no, I'm good. I'm not going. And I heard all the stories of what happened to them girls. And I was like, oh, this is so like, and
Crazy.
the man said, well, why didn't you come? I was like, this is a job. I'm not here to do nothing with you. This is a job.
Exactly.
I remember that. And something else happened before that where we were booked as models. And this was a low budget film. And these people were late. I called the agency. I was like, I gotta go, and y'all are paying me my money because who's sitting here? Who's sitting here? And then they came and they was smoking and girls was just chilling. And again, I was just like, this ain't for me like this. Like,
Right.
where's the respect here? So no, I
Good.
definitely have had people say, oh, like
Right. Right. Right.
pass
Right.
a number on to say, oh, so they would like to see if you can have dinner with them. Yeah, it has
Mhm.
happened before, but
Right.
you know what? Like, mm-mm,
You know,
mm-mm.
I'm proud of that journey. Right now, my dear Brigid, we're going to take a commercial break real quick, family, just to let you know we have our dear sister. She is the one, the only writer, director of this new film called, of course, We Are Family. We're going to talk about that in the next part of the half an hour before we let her go. But please donate to her channel. Donate to what she donate to her through Cash App, donate through her Zelle, and also the link is in the chat to her website and also the Eventbrite for the red carpet film screening of the tickets. But we're going to talk more about that coming up in the next few minutes. We'll be right back after this. So don't go nowhere, family. Hold on, and don't go crazy out there. So we'll be back with after this, and of course I'll be running down these commercials real quick. I just want to remind everybody right now as I put her backstage. I want to remind all you beautiful people that not tomorrow, actually, this coming Saturday, we're going to have the living legend. He is not only a living legend as far as an educator is concerned, but also a historian, but also a professor from the CUNY colleges back in the day. Also, he is the consultant for Godfathers in Harlem with Forrest Whitaker and numerous other people. He's a consultant on that project, that series, and we are so elated to have our brother Professor James Smalls back in Nicholas, Brooklyn at 1396 Fulton Street. And remember, $35 before the day of, $40 at the door, but you could take a snapshot of this particular flyer and actually show it at the door and get $5 off with this flyer at the door. And remember, young people are free from 0 to 17 years of age. And also on uh, Tuesday, I will be interviewing Ascended Infinite Goddess, her first debut on our channel, revealing the goddess, revealing of the goddess and what gods will walk with them. And that's happening December 16th at 8 p.m. But on that Monday before that, I will be on Empress Etoy's show called Don't Think Too Hard Podcast, Understanding Thyself, with Empress Etoy and El Haj Saladin. He will be, both of them are the co-hosts, the hosts of the show, and I'll be there 8 p.m. on Monday, talking about numbers and how mathematics is life and life is mathematics. That's what I will be doing on that particular show. And don't forget, on the 18th, I have Professor James Smalls, not Professor James Smalls, Professor James Muhammad Mahdi. He will be with us live and direct, speaking about the system of Sanukas Ryu Jiu-Jitsu, of which I've trained since I was younger, and also various other systems and how to forgive each other in these systems. Forgiveness is the highest form of healing, the legacy not only of Dr. Moses Powell, but also of various other systems if you tune in and lock in about that. And on the 20th, I will be a part of this webinar series, this webinar event on the 20th from 12 to 4:30 p.m. I will be speaking from, I think, 1 to 1:45 that particular day. So if you want to be a part of it, make sure you go to her website, ascendinginfinitegoddess.com. That's ascendinginfinitegoddess.com. And then on the 21st, I will be speaking at this event, opening up for the legendary Queen of Four. Eye Opener Productions presents Queen of Four, Woman/Man Heal Thyself, all happening at LIU College down there, LIU University, Long Island University, over there at the Brooklyn campus. We'll be there. Call my brother Shabazz at 347-683-8122 and tell him that King Simon sent you, all right? Tell him that King Simon sent you. You know how we do. Make sure you get my books also. And don't forget, my son is also one of my sponsors here, greenstudionyc.com. All right, now it is 35 minutes after the hour. We're going to get ready to bring our sister back on, and we're going to talk about it and be about it and do what we got to do to keep this thing moving as much as possible. I love what we're doing. So let's welcome her back on the stage right here at King Simon Presents as we continue with our conversation with Brigid Turner. All right, Brigid. All right, all right, all right, all right. We're gonna learn today. We're gonna learn today. All right, my beautiful sister. Already, we've had a good conversation so far. I'm really enjoying the conversation. Now, let me show this website of this We Are Family red carpet affair, if you don't mind. Do that right now so people can know what it's all about, where we're going to be doing what it's all about. This is a red carpet screening December the 20th. I'm going to see if I can make it from 6 to 9 p.m. at Brooklyn Children's College, Brooklyn Children's Museum right there on Brooklyn Ave. I know that plays very well. So hold on one second. Let me throw that over here. I know the place very well. And let me expand it so people can see how you get those tickets. Boom, 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 bap. Look at this, family. All you have to do is only $23.18. Get those tickets via there. And remember, We Are Family red carpet filming right there at the Brooklyn Children's Museum for a wonderful holiday film screening. Step onto the red carpet and enjoy a special screening of a family film, a heartwarming story about 6 foster children. Interesting. I got some questions for that. In search of finding their biological parents before Christmas. Oh, man. And there's another production company down with you. What's the name of the other production company, darling? Please.
Why am I forgetting? So Nostalgia Productions is mine.
Okay.
I thought you meant the other one.
Okay, I was just making sure that I didn't want to miss out on the extra, because sometimes, people get all weird when you don't mention their name. So
no, so the other producer with his production company is Deron Campbell, and so I want to shout him out.
Where's he from? He's from Jamaica, or he's from here?
He is Jamaican.
Campbell is one of my family names, so that's why.
Okay.
There's Campbell, Hamilton, Sousa, all of that. So that's interesting because we always into it. I know Paul Campbell. I've interviewed the legendary Jamaican actor Paul Campbell on my show already. That's a good friend of mine, brother Paul Campbell. So I wonder if they all related here, if we all related, because he know my uncle. So this is interesting. So let's get ready. You never know. So
you never know.
This is very interesting about the foster children, because I had an aunt that raised foster children. So I used to always cohabitate with them also at the house when I see them. Why did you write such a play? Where did this come from that you decided to write about foster children looking for their parents before Christmas? What was this all about? This the premise of the play. Don't tell the whole thing. This is the premise of it.
Well, first, I definitely want to thank everyone who helped make this film possible. Like, there's so many names.
Yes.
But Deron definitely, he gets a huge shout out because this would be his first feature film that he worked on. And he took a chance because I was like, there's no money like this. Like, so sorry. I always have to click the car so the light can stay on.
Yes.
So I want to thank him. I want to thank everyone. Like, this was a secret project. I had this idea because, again, working in schools, I was around children who were foster care, and I would just ask them questions, and sometimes I would bring them food, and sometimes they were not the best wearing the clothes or the scent, and I was like, what is that? Like, what is that? And I didn't want to think like there was mean foster care parents. It was just what it was. And through hearing little bits of stuff from them, I was like, almost like honoring them. I was like, you know what? I want to do a story about children that are in foster care. And I was like, well, around the holiday time, it was the time of where people have hope.
Yes, for their family. Yes, they always.
Yeah.
Right, I remember
hope that. And wanting to be around their real parents or wanting more. Yeah, just wanting more like other kids.
That's true.
And so I said, you know what? I need to do it around this time. So it was a little bit after I filmed Run Crew, I had the idea, and then I waited a little bit, and then I kind of ghosted this. No one knew I did this film. Like, I told no one we were filming, and the crew, I don't even want to talk about that part because you can be like, what? But I definitely see my growth. This is a sidebar. I definitely see my growth from doing Run Crew. And I did another feature film where I directed called Bloody Money with Ephraim. Shout out to Ephraim and Turtle and Champ and Andrea for the writing and producing.
Right.
So that gave me like a little bit of like, okay, finessing, but I was always good at ensembles, like
Mm.
directing ensembles and children. I have a passion for the youth. And so I said, I want to tell stories about children to give them hope, you
Right.
know. And one of the things for me, I wanted the children to have natural hair. I
Mm.
wanted them to look like regular children, not like fancy. There's a time for that, but I
Mhm.
wanted it to be more realistic. And again, I was basing it off of the kids that I saw in schools.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I do remember some of the teachers, even some of the teachers having foster kids, and they were like fighting in court,
Right. Right.
trying to make these children their children, you know, like adopt them.
Bec-
And I,
Because sometimes because these guys make like $500 to $600 per child or $1,000 per child. Some people are. I've dealt with even girlfriends that had foster children, and they would tell me all the prices and all the what was it and how you had that. And some of the children was very scarred too, because some of them came out of real serious situations of being sold by their parents for drugs and all types. I remember speaking about this on my show before, that I remember I was dating a sister in Georgia years ago. And I remember going into the bathroom because it was like halfway open, but I didn't know the young child was there. And she damn near jumped into the bathtub like like she was a cat. And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't know you was here because the door was open. I'm here thinking that the door is open naturally. I'm walking in to go use the bathroom." She was so scared at 9 years of age. And then when I went back in and to make her use her bathroom, went back in the room, I asked my girlfriend at that time, what happened to her? Oh man, she was being sold for crack and all that to have sex with her and all kinds of stuff. A lot these people don't know what these foster children or these children that became foster children had to go through before, and it was painful, man. I started crying in the bed with it because I understand that sometimes, some people in my family got molested or raped. And so I know that was the thing. I got tortured as a child by cousins and all that kind of stuff just for eating their food or talking too damn much. And I understand, sometimes they want to torture you, both on my mother and my father's side. But it was just, when she told me that story about that little girl, man, and up to this day, I wonder how she's doing. I hope that yeah, after she got out the force, because she's definitely over 18 now. She's about 20 something by now. But I hope that she's doing well. I asked about it, but they don't keep up with them after they leave. So
right.
I'm glad you're writing a story like that to give people hope, because that's like the most powerful thing in existence is hope. And hope and love. Because
Yes, yes,
obviously
yes.
people want to find their original parents because of love, or wanting to find out why they gave them up for adoption, or all of that. All of that goes through. Les Brown was adopted. The great Les Brown,
Yeah, yeah.
he was
He
adopted.
was a twin.
Twin,
Mm-hmm.
him and a twin. So I,
Yep.
heard his story, and I'm like, wow, man. So
Me too.
yeah, I'm proud.
And
I'm
and
proud. Go ahead.
it's like a fusion of stories, you know. And
Yeah,
so I don't get that gritty with it as far as like how
yeah,
people are molested and
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah. I
that.
understand.
Because I'm wanting to keep it wholesome,
Right, right,
you
right.
know. Not to
Right.
say that I don't direct other things, but when I'm writing it for children, I do my best to keep it wholesome to where
Mm-hmm.
it's like a Hallmark kind of vibe, Hallmark film, or
Right, of course.
yeah, and only because
Yeah,
they're already seeing the most on social media
that's
and
right.
all TV. So I'm like, I don't need to do that. They get that everywhere else. So I'm like, I'm trying to keep it wholesome as possible, but you get like there's funny moments, there's sad moments, and there's the joyful moments, and there's the hopeful moments, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm grateful to be able to create stories, to be
Definitely.
honest, you know. And no matter what, like the budget or however it takes. If someone has something, like you said, you want to do something, you just write it and do it.
Yeah.
Figure out who can partner with you to
Right.
make this dream come true, and you just get it done. And part of it is inspiring the youth. So
Mm.
when they look at another young person on camera, they don't know them, so they're like, they can relate, like, oh, maybe I can do that too,
Right.
you
No,
know, so it's inspiring for them.
and that's important. And family, the link is pinned now to the top of the chat. The link for the red carpet screening happening on December the 20th. Y'all gotta be there. It's gonna be from 6 to 9. Be on time. It's a red carpet affair. Come on, at the Brooklyn Children's Museum. I've been there. I've hosted some events there years ago. Big up to that neighborhood. Matter of fact, Queen of Four used to live right around the corner from there.
Yes, she did.
One of my dear friends live right up the block from it. Big up to Sister Katrina, and she's a teacher of children of the spectrum, on the spectrum, for 30 years. And let me say this, because foster children that I've encountered from my aunt and various other friends back in the day, they're a special someone. And if I was a foster child, I would look for my parents also, no matter how angry I felt and how mean spirit. And I tell people all the time, it's so important to understand other people's stories, even your parents' story, because our people have become so narcissistic that it's all about them. It's all about me. You should have been there. I was going through this. Okay, cool. But what was your parent going through to even give you up to the foster system? So I understand this show is about, a loving family, and you're trying to get people to understand that there are heartwarming stories and rainbows at the end of the stories for some children when they're going through so much trauma. And because sometimes even in these foster homes, they're so abusive. People ain't even talking about that.
I know. And I didn't even want to, like I said, I have a hint of what that is, because abuse is definitely not just physical.
Exactly. That's right. Exactly.
And someone, if you're in a different state, country, or whatever, you can also donate for a child to come. You can contribute and say, you know what, I'd like to buy 5 tickets. Can you gift them to someone? Because it costs to get to the space, and I'm gonna definitely make it an experience. So when you come, you're gonna vibe out before the film screening, and then after that we will be going to BK9, which are these brothers that own a spot in Brooklyn off of 5th Avenue. So we'll be going there to celebrate, and this is literally like our rap party almost, because I haven't seen these actors. These kids don't look like they are in the movie. So when you even see them for the Q&A, you're going to be like, wow. And just even to hear them speak about their experience in this, because they did good under pressure and in the cold. Like, these children, to me.
Let me ask you a question. We got like 10 more minutes. Let me ask you a question. And anybody want to put any questions? Big up to Monique, she's in the chat. Big up to Creator Goddess in the chat. Big up to Cindy in the chat. Big up to Kafunya in the chat. Big up to everybody else. Kim Burt's in the chat. Big up to all of y'all. Anybody have a question in the chat, please put it in the chat, and I will definitely ask the question, because of course she's in her car right now on the phone, so she really can't see as much as you want to see. But are any of the children that you have in the film, did they ever go through foster care?
Okay. Not as far as I'm concerned, no, because the boy, he has 2 parents. The young lady too.
Any of the
most
parents?
Of them.
Any of the parents? Any of the adults? Any of the adults went through it? No, you don't know. Okay. So they're acting.
No.
They're real actors. Okay, they're putting it in.
Yeah, they are acting, but I do know that they've engaged with them.
Of course.
Yes, and I don't know, to be honest, I did reach out to a foster home, and it's touchy in those areas to even deal with those children.
Yes, it is.
Because you got to sign papers, and they got a background check, and this and that. Like, it'd have to be someone that I knew, that I know their family, to be like, so even to get them, because I reached out to 2 foster homes. And also, if you know of, it's just so hard to mingle.
Yes.
You can't know that they're in a foster care, and
Mhm.
so if they come, they're coming as a guest. So even if someone invites them, we just won't know that they're in a foster care, which is fine. I
Mhm.
just really want them to come. If there's a way to get them to come, that would be so beautiful. Or if there's a way that someone says, you know what, they can't come, but can you bring this film to them? I'm open for that too, because I just want them to see, like, we care what's happening to them, and they can do stories too, make their own stories.
That's right. Now, what did the research entail for these actors yourself? What type of research did you have to do to get the
I did take
essence of that?
foster care classes. I took foster care classes. I
Okay.
did. So
Hmm.
I have that certificate, and I didn't do anything with it, but I definitely wanted to know. I mean, I can,
Right.
but
Exactly.
I definitely wanted to know, and I did speak to, like I said, the teachers at my school,
Right.
and I just wanted to know what that was, because how heartbreaking that. I didn't even put that in there because there will be a part two to this, but I
Okay.
didn't put that in there because I didn't want to give too much, because there is such a huge fight. So that was my research, taking the foster care classes, and then asking the teachers that I knew that were foster parents. And so during the red carpet, when we have the Q&A, you'll be able to ask
Okay.
the children about that. But I'm telling you, they did a great job.
Wonderful.
They
Wonderful.
really did a beautiful job. And I want to shout out, I don't want to shout out not one particular actor, because then someone will be like, what about me? So shout out to all of them. I have a cameo in there as well.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah,
Beautiful.
I'm proud of this. I'm really proud. I'm proud of everything that I do, but I'm like, the level change for me is really like,
Good, good, good. Very, very good, very good. Well, once again, family, we want to make sure this sister, take care of the sister. Make sure the link is pinned to the top. The red carpet screening is happening December the 20th from 6 to 9 p.m. The Brooklyn Children's Museum. The address there is 145 Brooklyn Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. You take that Brooklyn Avenue straight up there. It takes you right there to the darn thing,
mm-hmm.
man. Believe me. And this is going to be a very family orientated. Look at the people in there. So let me make sure that y'all can see them. There they are. Hold on one second. Let me make sure they can see them better. There it is. That's the crew right there. That's the crew. We are family. I got my created by Bridget Turner. No relations to Tina Turner, but maybe. You
You never
never
know.
know. Both of
You're
us.
so funny.
Oh man, my sister, thank you so much for coming on the show and spreading
Thank you.
love. Any other
No,
shout outs?
thank you for having me. I'm grateful whenever I am able to have a platform to share what I'm doing. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for Monique. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for Miss Kafunya. I'm grateful Miss Nita. I'm grateful Miss Nakina. I'm grateful for everyone that has stuck by me. I'm grateful to God first, and I'm grateful for my mom.
Yeah.
She's always been there. I'm grateful. I just stay in really a place of gratitude, because for me, it's always about the community. And I'm glad to be in spaces where I can do that. Like I said, in schools, when I'm working in schools, I definitely show my spirit of loving God and then loving the community, and I show my talents, and I want to inspire people to do more. And I know sometimes it comes off. Shout out to Miss Sharon, because definitely she was the first one. She's One Only Rose, vegan food.
Well, yeah. Okay.
She's definitely someone that I definitely felt that vibe of, am I pushing her too much? And I didn't care. I was like, no, you're so talented. Your food is amazing. Like, show the world. And I remember her expressing that. So that was as of late. Like, people who've been around me, I've been pushing them. I'm
Mhm.
like, this is your time. Do what you can do. You have talents. Do, share, do. And so I'm big about that. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I'm able to be creative. I'm grateful that I can share things with the world. So, and I'm grateful to be here. Again, it's not often that people have a platform, and I'm grateful that it is you, someone who is in the community and someone that has seen me, and I didn't have to reach out to be like, oh, put me on your show, but you've seen me, and that's what I want. I want people to see what I'm doing and want to help because they see what I'm doing, not just what I look like or what I sound like, just what you see, and help that way.
Right. Yeah. Well, like I said, I was raised in a community of entertainment. One side of my family, Susie Q, she's a disco diva. On my other side, Grace Jones, another great person in my family. So I've been watching these things happen for melanated women for a long time. I used to work with Oliver Samuels also in a short tour.
Mm.
I used to open up for his play. I think it was Guava Jelly I opened up for in a short East Coast tour. Big up to Oliver because he was a dear friend of my aunt and my uncle who used to write for Pantomime. So and may my aunt rest in peace. She was definitely one of those forces in Jamaica community as a writer with Barbara Gooden and all the rest of them. So and Miss Lou was the one they celebrated all the time. Miss Lou, Louise Bennett. They celebrated Louise Bennett so much, who was excellent actor. And so I'm proud of the women that are doing their job and the men that are supporting in any way and every way that they can. So thank you so much. I want to big up to everybody that's in the chat, of course. New Diamonds, big up Monique, everybody in the Caramel, everybody that's coming in. And my sister, I hope that I can be able to pass through. If I'm not too tired from teaching that class that day, I will definitely, save me a ticket or something. Big up to Quiet Storm Dojo, my man, Professor James will be with us. But thank you so much.
I do want to shout out our share that we have our winter solstice. So that's the day after the screening on December 21st at Nicholas Brooklyn. I think that's on her. It is definitely on her website, and you can go on there to sign up. We're having wellness all day, amazing things. It will have it there. We're also going to shout out the people who will be participating, but that's a huge thing too. Let's end this 2025 in a wellness healing vibe and wanting to be around people of the same kind of energy for the end of the year. So that's on December 21st, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Nicholas Brooklyn.
Well, we want to give you a well-deserved round of applause. Thank you for coming on, and drive safely, get home safely, and text me when you get home. Okay, make sure you get home.
I will. Okay? Thank you, and thank you so much for putting up with this spotlight on me.
Hey, that's the melanin was still shining, darling. Don't worry about it.
Okay, good. I was like, I have no idea what I'm looking like.
Don't worry, I'll send you the link so you can see it. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
All right. Peace and love. All right.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah, good night, everybody. She said, thank you very much, family, for allowing the sister to come in and do what she got to do. She got to get home to where she got to drive. She's driving, so she really couldn't be on. But I'm glad to have had her on, to be on King Simon Presents Only Quality People. Remember, I don't bring the drama. It could get heated with conversation, but I don't bring the drama because it's all about healing. And if you're not willing to heal and grow, then, leave me alone, because I've been through all of that. Dr. Khalid Muhammad used to say, we can be saints, saviors, soldiers, scholars, healers, and killers. That's a warrior's creed. Saint, savior, soldier, scholar, healers, and killers. There's time when you have to be healers. There's time when you have to kill. There's time when you need to be a soldier. You say it's time to be a saint. There's a time for everything. Ecclesiastes says that there's a time for everything. So I'm in my healing cycle right now to keep things healing, but don't attack me. I can get into the soldier mode real quick and the fighting mode real quick. You got to be ready so you don't have to get ready. You know what I'm saying? So big up to all the trainers that I've trained under for many years, whether it was just to get the basics, just to get home safely, never for a belt. Always just to get home and protect myself, unorthodox ways. And I'm proud of that. That's why sometimes when you're into the martial arts or into any type of self-defense or self-offense, like Professor David James would say, sometimes it's really just to be able to navigate and not get into the fight, but learn how to avoid the fight so you don't have to get yourself arrested. Because I've known some friends that Maurice got himself arrested and put in jail. I've heard, part of our system, and people like Asaze, not Osei, Asaze. He's gotten himself in trouble at some certain times of his life, defending himself on the train, but he got out and all that. So big up to people like I haven't seen Osaze in so many years. So I hope he's doing well. Maurice, I hope he's doing well. That was Soke Littlejohn's student. I hope he's doing well wherever he's at. Enough respect to him. Family, just want to remind you once again, let's give a round of applause to this beautiful sister once again. Let's give her a round of applause. And do remember the next interview coming up, the next event that's coming up is the great Professor James Smalls will be in the building. Global Spiritual Work and How to Use It Correctly. Saturday, December the 13th. From 5 to 9 p.m., Nicholas, Brooklyn, 1396 Fulton Street. $35 before with Sister Kofunya Ife, Felicia Harden, and Brother Joshua Sarah. $40 at the door, but you can take a screenshot and show this screenshot or bring a flyer at the door and you get $5 off. Young people are absolutely free. And the next interview coming up will be this beautiful sister right here, Ascending Infinite Goddess, her first debut on the channel, revealing of the goddesses and what gods will walk with them. Big up to them. That's going to be happening on the 16th, as we're promoting her event coming up. That's happening on the 20th of December. We're going to be doing a webinar, and I'm one of the guest speakers on the webinar. Go to ascendinginfinitegoddess.com. Catapult your energy into 2026. I'm going to break down the numbers and how to motivate you with your numbers in that way. And the interview with our dear brother on the 18th is happening Thursday, December the 18th. Professor James Muhammad Mahdi. Forgiveness is the highest form of healing, the legacy of the Doc, Moses Powell, aka Master Musa Muhammad. And on the 20th, again, we're going to be here on the 20th, and then on the 21st, boom, get your tickets to see the one, the only Queen Afua. Queen Afua. Get your tickets. I'm opening up, and also Sister Paris is opening up. 347-683-8122. That's 347-683-8122. Call Eye Openers Production, Brother Shabazz and Sister Jamila. Make sure you show them some love any way you can, and they're going to be in the building. Big up to Sister Professor Zahalia. Make sure you get in contact with her through those numbers or the email. If you want to learn how to do the martial arts and mix it with the dance, she can help you out with that. If you do want to book a session with me, text me your full name, date of birth, 347-496-1022, and an email, and I will send you the details via text and email also. Big up to Abundance Child at YouTube. Yes, youtube.com/@AbundanceChild, and her podcast called Only the Realists Feel This. And big up to my son, Green Studio NYC, my brother Prince Imagine, Green Studio NYC. Of course, get my books on Amazon. All 5 of my books are on Amazon. Iridologist, Dr. Shakira Moore. Go to her website, Holistica Palace. And New Diamonds, who was in the chat earlier. Big up to her. Make sure you go to her website, newdiamonds.net. Make sure you show us some love. Nicholas Brooklyn, make sure you go to their website, nicholasbrooklyn.com, or you can go to any of their locations in Harlem, in Manhattan, and also in Brooklyn. And last, again, but not least, my dear brother Lloyd Strayhorn, lloyd-strayhorn.com. Join his app, call him on his phone, hit him up on his website, all right? And tell him that King Simon sent you. Family, do remember also that on Monday, I will be on my sister's podcast, Empress Etoy and El Haj Saladin. I'll be on their podcast talking about how mathematics can help you out. And enough respect to my cousin, Shireen from Native New Yorkers, Mom's seminar, Montreal Urban Music Seminar, and of course, all the great things she's done in Canada back in the day, aka Susie Q. You know, big up to her, my mom's side of the family. Look, like Dr. B says, I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection, and I am thankful for my life. And like the late, great Dr. Delbert Blair used to say, the prayers. Please, Universal Creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open up my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth and your love now. Family, have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Be safe, be great. Wherever you might be watching this, all 196,940,000 square miles of the planet Earth, I want to thank you that's been watching me in UK, Australia, in the Caribbeans, all over the United States of America, in different languages. Thank you very much for your support. And remember, you can support the channel. You can support the channel by hitting us up at donating through Venmo, and I believe Cash App and Chime are local, but PayPal is international. You can also donate because PayPal is all over the world, but you can actually donate through Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, and Chime right here on the screen. And if you find it hard to do that, you could just show love through Super Chat or Super Sticker, and that also will help. And if you find it hard to do that, you could actually watch at least 15 seconds to 30 seconds of a commercial on the channel. And that also helps to support because they also give us a percentage just by advertising their their particular commercial on the commercial ads inside the program. So that can also help also. 15 seconds to 30 seconds you could watch, and that helps donating also. All right. Family, I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh and talk some knowledge. The kind of knowledge you will never find in college. But it's up to you to all use it, be it, make it, remember it. All right. Take care of yourself. Be safe. Be great. And once again, we want to thank our beautiful sister for coming on. Again, Brigid from Black Girl Empowerment. They're having a big thing on December the 20th. That's the link is pinned to the top of the chat. And make sure you donate to her Cash App to support her journey and what she's doing. $ dope shoes and Zelle. npde.team@gmail.com. You can use that for the Zelle. All right. Once again, take care of yourself and be safe. And remember to be great. And like I always said, I love you because I love me. Take care.